So lately I've been consulting and advising for quite a few businesses in the food service industry, mostly restaurants or small food vendors. And businesses in this industry, these types of food services businesses, they have a little bit more to do when getting started. Their checklist is a little bit longer for starting up as compared to other businesses. It is a little bit complicated, it's more work, but in this video I thought I would just dive into those details a little bit more and go over a checklist for those who are wanting to start a restaurant in Saskatchewan or a food service business in Saskatchewan, just so that you don't miss any of the main steps. So for starters, like any business, you want to start out with, figuring out what the business idea is. What do you actually want to provide? What do you want to sell? Obviously, in this case, you're probably starting a restaurant or a food truck or something like that. And then from there, you want to choose a business name and then choose a legal structure and then reserve that business name and then register or incorporate the business, typically with the provincial corporate registry, which in Saskatchewan is the ISC. After that, you're going to want to get your just regular municipal business license, which you can get from your city or town. And then you'll probably want a business bank account as well. You'll want to likely get insurance for the business. And then you'll probably want to set up a PST account, a GST account, potentially a payroll account, and a workers' compensation. And these depend on the size of the business, how much you're doing for sales, your goals, if you have employees or not. And these steps are relevant to pretty much any business. Now, the steps that are specific to restaurants or food service businesses would be things like going through the Saskatchewan Health Authority to get your food service permit. Now, that is offered by the provincial government through the Saskatchewan Health Authority. And so typically what you have to do is send them an email with a floor plan of your space that you're using, and also fill out an application form and fill out an information form and send that to them. And then they will schedule an inspection of your facility and then issue you a license. And if they find any issues, then they'll just tell you what to correct. And then if you correct that, then you can get your license or your permit issued to you. And you don't want to be operating a restaurant or food service business, even if that's a food truck, if you don't have that SHA permit, because there can be repercussions for doing that. The nice thing is you don't have to actually pay for this, but it is required for food service businesses. And one thing about getting this permit, and just a general thing to comply with if you're operating this type of business, is to have your food safe certificate or your food handling certificate, which is going to be required for the owner of the business, and typically at least for some of the employees that are handling food in the business. Now, another step for food service industries, restaurants, whatever, would be getting a liquor license. And again, this is administered by provincial government. And so if you are serving alcohol in your business, again, whether that's a restaurant or just some other food service type of business, you want to make sure that you get your liquor license to be able to do so. And then on top of that, obviously you're going to want to get the necessary equipment and build relationships with the food suppliers so that you have the right type of food supplies that you can then use to, create the final product that you are selling to your customers. And now, one other thing with food service businesses is typically you're going to want some POS software, so point of sale software. You might be using some platforms online where people can order online. You might have your own website or platform where people can order online. When they come to your restaurant or whatever food service business you have, they're probably going to want to pay with, debit card or credit card a lot of the time. So you want to have like a PIN pad terminal. You'll want to have POS software. You'll want to have a printer so that you can print out their debit or credit receipt, and also a printer to actually print out the order receipt. So all of these points are really important for restaurants and other food service businesses. Again, it is more complicated than most businesses, but these are steps that you don't want to skip. Besides the main ones that pretty much every business has to follow, you want to get that SHA permit or license. You want to get the liquor license if you're selling liquor. You want to build relationships with suppliers and have equipment and have POS software. And you want to make sure that you're signed up for PST and GST if necessary, which is more common for restaurants, especially if you're, reaching a certain threshold when it comes to GST for annual sales. So again, it's more work, but I love restaurants. So if you want to set one up, go ahead. I'm happy to help. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, please click like. And if you want to check out my YouTube channel, I have currently over 170 videos that cover business startup and business management topics.